Good morning, students. Hope you all fine and doing everything well. Now let us go on today's class. We are discussing about the chapter 4, that is organ and organ system in animals. And today we are going to continue the same chapter. So in this chapter, in the previous sessions, we discussed about the two invertebrates, that is one is earthworm and another one is cockroach. Fine. So these two invertebrates, external features, its classification, as well as this anatomy we discussed in the previous sessions. Fine. And today's session we are supposed to discuss about one of this vertebrate, that is frog. Right. And regarding frogs, its general features and the classification of frog as well as the morphology of frog, and we are supposed to discuss by today's session. Fine. Let us go on to the class. So if we go for these general features of frog, of course the frog is one of this very familiar animal for everyone. So you may know about these characters and the features of this frog, and even though some important characters we can see in these sessions. Fine. Okay. The first point is regarding the frog. Of course everyone knows it is one of this amphibian, right? So what do you mean amphibian? It could survive inside this water as well as on the land, right? So those varieties of animals we used to say as a class amphibians, right? So the frog is the first amphibian to live on land. So there are several amphibians are there, even though the speciality of the frog is it is one of the first amphibian to survive on the land, right? Okay, then its origin is 360 million years ago. Its origin is 360 million years ago. Okay, then in the amphibians, in the class amphibians, there are 4,500 species are available. 4,500 species of amphibians are there. Okay, then, and these amphibians consist of some orders, right? Among this, the largest order is Aruna. The largest order of class amphibian is Aruna, right? So this Aruna includes actually 3,900 species. Among this, among the 3,900, frog is one among them. Fine? Okay. And about its habitat, it used to survive in fresh water, especially in the freshwater ponds, streams, as well as in the moist places. Okay, then, and regarding its food habits, it used to eat the insects, the worms, small fishes, and the snails, etc. So since it is surviving or living inside this fresh water, it thus organisms which is available in the fresh water it used to feed, right? Then it is one of the poikilothermic animal. What do you mean poikilothermic animal? These animals varies its body temperature according to the environmental temperature, right? So it is living inside this water. If this water temperature change, accordingly it used to change its body temperature also. And when it is surviving on the land, according to the land temperature, it used to adjust its body temperature, right? So those kind of these organisms we used to say as poikilothermic animals or cold-blooded animals. Is it clear? Okay, then since of course since it is living inside this water as well as on the land, inside the water it used to breathe with the help of the gills, and on the land it used to breathe with the help of these lungs, right? And the skin, etc. Clear? And this is regarding the classification of frog. If we see the scientific classification of the frog, and let us see what are this phylum or classes and etc. it belongs to. Fine. Okay. So this frog belongs to the phylum Chordata because it is one of these vertebrates, right? Okay, and it belongs to the class Amphibia. It used to live in water as well as on land. Then the order Arona, as we said already, Arona, right? Then the genus is Rana and the species is Hexadactyla. So hexa in the sense 6. So it consists of 6 digits in the leg. That's why it is known as Hexadactyla, right? So the scientific name of this frog is Rana hexadactyla, right? Let us go on to the morphological features of this frog, and let us see this outer feature first of all. Fine. And if you look this outer feature, the first character we can say the shape of this body is streamlined body. It's streamlined. I mean, it's like a boat-shaped body, right? So this boat-shaped body is adaptable, or it is and suitable for swimming purpose, right? There's a streamlined body. Then the body shape dorso-ventrally flat-ended. So the dorsal side and the ventral side is flat. So dorso-ventrally it is flat, right? And the body is covered with smooth and slimy skin. So this, if we touch this frog, we can understand it consists of very smooth and slimy skin which is attached to this body wall, right? And the color of this body. So the skin is dark green actually. If we view it in the dorsal sides, it gives dark green in color, and in the ventral side it is pale color. Fine. Then this body is divided as head as well as trunk. The body is divided as two divisions, head as well as trunk division. Fine. And there is no neck and there is no tail for this frog. Right? Can you watch this figure? There is no neck and there is no tail. First, let us see the parts which is present in this head region. Okay. So the head, if you see the head region, almost it is triangular shape, right? It is triangular shape. Okay. And at the end, this apex of this end point is forms as a snout. It's, that end part of this head that we can say as a snout, right? Okay. Then, and in that snout, the mouth is present in the anterior side. So the anterior most region, posterior region. What do you mean anterior region? The front region is anterior region, the backest region is this posterior region. So in the anterior most region, so the wide mouth is present and it can open widely, right? Okay. Then behind this mouth, it consists of external nostrils. So pair of external nostrils are present and each nostril is present in either side of this median line. Can you see one median line in the center of this dorsal side? So each nostril is present in either side of this median line. And also it is present in the snout region, right? Okay, so behind this nostrils, it consists of large eyes, right? It consists of large eyes. Then this eyes consist of three eyelids actually. It consists of three eyelids. The first one is upper eyelid and the second one is lower eyelid. So the upper eyelid is actually movable eyelid. So this upper eyelid is, the upper eyelid is thick and immovable. Actually the upper eyelid is very thick and it is immovable, it don't move. And the lower eyelid is thin as well as it is movable. Okay. And the third eyelid is a transparent eyelid. It is covering the eye, it is transparent eyelid. This eyelid is known as nictitating membrane. Nictitating membrane. So the role of this nictitating membrane is it is protecting the eye when the frog is under the water, right? So that is the role of this nictitating membrane. So this will be asked as a question. What may this mention this functions of nictitating membrane? So it is protecting the eye when this frog is under this water, right? And behind this eye it consists of this tympanic membrane. So this tympanic membrane is forming as a ear drum. In our ear we have external ear, right? So the external ear is known as a pinna. One external growth will be there around this ear. That is external ear. That is to say as pinna. Then this external ear only leading as a ear drum or tympanic membrane. But here there is no external ear, right? So this tympanic membrane is forming as a ear drum and it is leading inside. Okay. So these are the parts mainly it is present in this head region, right? Now let us go on to the next region is the trunk region, right? So the trunk region is the largest region of this frog, and this part which is present in the trunk region. So the first part is pair of forelimb and the pair of hind limb, pair of forelimb as well as pair of hind limb, right? So if you take this forelimb, the forelimb is short and stubby, okay, short and stubby. And the functions of this forelimb, it is bearing the total body weight. Forelimb only bearing the body weight. Understood? And it is useful to landing also. So when it is landing, it is bearing the total weight of this body. Right? And if you see the digits of this forelimb, it consists of upper arm. The beginning part is known as the upper arm. The middle region is forearm and the hand region. Okay? And the hand consists of 4 digits. Can you look at the figure? Okay. So upper arm, forearm, hand as well as 4 digits. Fine. And the next one is this hind limb. Right. So this hind limb is, it is just opposite for forelimb. Forelimb is short and stubby, but here it is large and long. Right. Then if you see the divisions of this hind limb, it is divided as thigh, shank, foot. So the beginning is thigh, then the middle is shank and the end is foot. Right? And here 2 types of toes are there. The digits, fingers are there. There is 5 webbed toes are there. Can you see the web? So one membrane is connecting these fingers, right? That is known as a web. So this here 5 webbed toes are there plus one small, pointed finger is there, that is known as a 6th toe. Okay. So this web arrangement is helping for leaping as well as for swimming purpose. Leaping, so it used to jump, right? So for leaping purpose as well as for swimming purpose also, right? Then between this, hind limb in the center, it consists of this cloacal aperture. So this cloacal opening is useful for digestion purpose, excretory purpose as well as for reproductive system also. This is common opening for digestion, excretion as well as reproduction. Fine. The next character is regarding sexual dimorphism. So how could we differentiate this male and female frog? So while looking it is looks similar, and how could we differentiate both male and female frog, right? And especially during this breeding season, we can able to differentiate this male and female very easily, right? And especially the changes may occur for this male frog. During breeding season, the changes will occur for male frog. So two character may occur for this male frog. The first one is pair of vocal sac. Can you see the vocal sac? It is present below in this below this upper jaw region, right? The pair of vocal sac is there, right? So this sac is useful to amplifying the croaking sound. So during breeding season, this frog, male frog, used to produce one croaking sound, one noise. With this noise only, it is attracting the female for copulation, right? So this vocal sac is helping to increase this noise, amplifying this sound, right? So that is present for this male, only for male, right? And the second one is this nuptial pad. Can you see one like one swelling or pad is present in this forelimb region, that is known as nuptial pad, right? So these two regions are absent for female, right? So with this we can able to differentiate this male as well as this female frogs, right? So this also will be asked as a question. Explain the sexual dimorphism, or how will you differentiate male frog from the female, right? The question will be asked from this, right? Or what is the functions of this vocal sac for male, right? So it is increasing or amplifying the croaking sound of this male during this breeding season. So the questions will be asked in this manner. Fine. So this is the next tabular column. It is regarding this differentiation between this frog and toad. Okay. So when we see in our surrounding, we could able to see at least two different types of this frog. So one is actually the greenish color, that will be mostly we could say, and another one is with this, actually that is not a frog, that is known as a toad, right? And let us see what may be the difference between these two, right? Okay, so it's this phylum, class, order, everything same only. So phylum Chordata, right? Class Amphibia, order Aruna, as well as then the family onwards is differs, right? So if you see the family, the frogs belongs to the family Ranidae. Okay, the toad belongs to the family Biphonidae. Okay, then body shape, as we said in the frog, it is slender, streamlined body. But here toad more bulky. It is somewhat stumpy, more bulky. Okay, and the legs are longer for frog, and for toad it is short. Then webbed feet. The character is webbed feet. So the webbed feet is present for frog and it is absent for toad. Right? Then skin, and frog smooth and moist skin is present, but for toad dry skin covered with glands, right? So that is the character of this toad. Then the teeth, so the maxillary as well and the omarine teeth is present. Maxillary as well as the omarine teeth is present. Maxillary region, upper jaw region is maxilla. So maxillary region, the teeth is present, as well as the omarine teeth also present for this frog. But in case of this toad, this teeth is absent. Okay. Then egg formation for frog, it lays eggs in cluster as a group, as a clusters. But here this toad is laying the eggs as a strings, right? So this is the difference between these two, frog as well as a toad, and this also will be asked as either 2-mark or 3-mark question. Differentiate frog and toad. Fine. So far we have completed this general features, the classification, as well as this morphology, as well as this differentiation of this frog and toad, right? So hope we can, conclude today's class here. Let us go on few assignments regarding today's class. The first question is, mention the functions of nitrate membrane. So as we said already, nitrate membrane is a transparent eyelid which is present for this frog. This is protecting the eye when this frog is under this water. Fine. Okay. Next one. Give the sexual dimorphism of frog. So how could we differentiate this male frog from the female? So during breeding season, it could be easily observable, especially for male frog. It is producing two regions. One is this pair of vocal sac, another one is this nuptial pair, and this is absent for the female, right? So this vocal sac is helping to amplifying this croaking sound, right? Then the next question, differentiate frog and toad. So there are also a few points we have discussed, and those things you can write as per this question, right? And the next question is regarding explain this external morphology of frog. So this also, from this head region and this trunk region, body regions fully you could write, right? So please go on this all these questions, you know try to draw the diagrams also, as we said in the previous sessions also. Try to draw the diagrams in this notebook, and in the next class we can meet with this another one, anatomy regions for the frog. So until this, please go on with this one, and please keep touch with us and watch all these videos carefully, right? So we can meet in the next class with this anatomy of this frog. Until that, please stay at home and pray very well. Fine. Thank you.